well, what do you think? Do I just need a mustache? And I could be my dad? What could be more appropriate to preach on than Valentine's Day? The title of my message is God's Valentine. Now, I think He gave us a lot more. I'm going to focus on 3 gifts He gave us for Valentine's Day. I'd like everybody to turn to their Bible, John chapter 15, verse 9. Yes, could everybody please stand? As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you obey my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commands and remained in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that he lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends. If you do what I command, I no longer call you servants, because instead I have called you friends. For everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you to go and bear fruit that will last. Then the Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. This is my command: love each other. I think you can see. Isn't it amazing how God loves us even though we like to mess up a lot? Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not even close. I thought of about 4 different types of love. There was God's love, which is unconditional. Natural love, it's a father to a child. We were born like that, loving. There's committed love. There's a husband to a wife, but make sure that's clear. Husband and a wife, when there's committed love, there's no such thing as, oh, I love you, but there's no commitment. No, we have to have commitment. If there's no commitment, it's called lust. Last, there's instinctual love. There's animal to an animal. When you practice this love, God said, you are no longer my servant, but my friend. And isn't that amazing that God, who created us, He died for us, and then He doesn't call us His servants. We are His servants. We should be His servants, and we deserve nothing more than that. But He says, no, you are my friend. He even goes as far to say that we are His sons. He calls us His sons and daughters. If that doesn't touch you, I don't know what will. The gift of forgiveness, you guys don't have to stand for this, but I'm going to read about the gift of forgiveness. I'm going to read from John chapter 8, verse 2. At dawn he appeared again in the temple courts, where all the people gathered around him, and he sat down to teach them. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought him a woman called in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery, in the act of adultery. And the law of Moses commands us to stone her. Now what do you say? They were using this question to trap, in order to have a basis to accuse him. But Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and he said, If any of you is without sin, let him be the first to throw a stone at her. Again he stooped down and wrote in the sand. As this, those who heard began to go away, one at a time, the older ones, until only Jesus was left. When the woman still standing there, Jesus straightened up and asked her, Woman, where are all they? Has no one condemned you? No one, sir, she said. Then neither do I condemn you. Jesus declared, Now go and leave your life of sin. Now I'm going to tell this story a little bit more contemporary. When Jesus said this, what happened was Jesus was teaching in the temple, and you know the Pharisees, they always want to find a way to trap Jesus, but he's never going to let him get a chance. So they brought in this woman, and they said she committed adultery. Now, adultery today isn't that big of a deal anymore. It should be, but it's not. That was like killing 5 people in today's standards. She said, he brought him, and they said, listen, according to Moses' law, she should be killed. It doesn't matter. We should stone her right here. Jesus then bent down in the sand, started writing. Now, nobody knows what he was writing. Most people think he was writing each person's sins in the sand. From oldest to youngest, he was writing in the sand. He got up and he said, well, who of you could cast the first stone? I mean, are any of you perfect? Nobody could. Then he started writing again. Everybody left. It was just the woman standing there. Jesus went over and he said, is nobody here to condemn you? She said, no. You mean nobody here wants to still kill you? He said, no. Are you sure? There's nobody left. She said, no. He said, then neither do I condemn you. And I think that's amazing if you look at it, that God can forgive anything, that there is nothing too great for God. And if you think there is, ask yourself this. Does God love me? Is God greater than all things? Then why can't he forgive anything? Is he not great enough?